Here we are, episode 4 of the Are We There Yet podcast.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's good to start on
Why?
some people's.
And we have Mr. Jayden Abdeen, who is illustriously broken up our intro. No, I'm kidding. We're back. Are We There Yet podcast. We're here. We have some really special guests with us, one of which is one of our staff, Miss Cook. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. It is great to have you. And we are also joined back by our two crowd favorites. I can't speak today. Miss Rachel Todd and Mr. Jayden Abdeen. Let's give a round of applause. All right, so we are here today. We're joined by Miss Cook. Thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to be going over a topic that I feel like everybody should be going over, and hopefully you guys can add to it afterwards by telling us what your favorite thing to do during quarantine was, or maybe things that you've done to kind of cope with the situations that we've been inundated with. So, Ms. Cook, if you would like to start, please, by all means.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited. This topic it seems like, really basic, but the longer we are in quarantine, I find the stranger my coping mechanisms become, right? So maybe that's relatable. I know we were speaking about one of my coping mechanisms about a month ago was to start watching a show that I used to watch when I was about Rachel and Jayden's age. So it premiered, I think, when I was like 16. And it's called La Femme Nikita. And it was like one of these basic cable hits. Okay. And basically, like, I started watching it and just going back in my mind to the late 90s, I started listening to music from the late 90s, not even songs that were my favorite, not even my favorite artists, but I would just put on the music and have it around me. And I kind of like went into this escapist mode where I felt like a teenager again. I was like shipping the two characters in La Femme Nikita. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so romantic. And I was into like the whole show is just so goofy. It's not even really a good show, but I got really into it and was like binge watching it every night, every chance I could get, listening to 90s stuff, thinking about, what I did as a teenager. And then I started to realize like, it was a coping mechanism. It was like escape. And I was feeling kind of guilty about it because I wasn't really being present as much with my family. My mind was in this other little 90s world of being a teenager. And I talked to one of my best friends from high school and she said, you know what, Sarah, some people pay a lot of money to go to like Disney World or amusement parks to get their kicks and to escape, but you're just doing it, you're just doing it in the comfort of your home and it's totally not insane. You're fine. So she kind of reassured me, but I mean, I really went into like this total 90s escape mode. And I would say that was a coping mechanism that lasted me like a good month or so. And then I kind of came out of that and realized, okay, time to come back to reality. But I often wonder like what things people are doing to escape the mundane reality of being inside the same space for a long time around the same people, right? And then the last thing I kind of came to about that escape is that I kind of felt like I was 14, 15, 16 again, because especially in suburbia where I grew up, you couldn't go anywhere if you didn't beg someone for a ride. You weren't really going to walk anywhere. There was, you might bike to a person's house, but, that's about it. So I feel like this lockdown has felt like being a young teenager again. Like it's brought me that feeling of just feeling like I'm in my room and I have to entertain myself. So that's where I'm at. That's one of the weirder things that I've done so far is go totally La Femme Nikita 90s escape.
And entertaining ourselves as we should. It's definitely something I would definitely attest to. I believe I did the same with Degrassi, but I'm not going to put myself out there any further. I'm not going to say which season I started. Drake. But anyway, if anyone else would like to share some of their binge worthy shows, maybe binge worthy activities?
I was gonna say that an activity that I've been doing a lot is like practicing my computer skills and like learning to code and different stuff like that. So basically, I feel like it's the opposite of Sarah. Miss Cooks. Sorry, I said your first name. Miss Miss Cook's activity, I feel like it's the opposite because I feel like I'm growing up and becoming more mature, and it's scary at the same time because, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's awkward in a way because I'm not used to it. You know what? I'm just gonna get off camera.
What? No, no. The camera loves you, man. The camera loves you. I was gonna say that kudos to the computer skills that you have been updating. If you would like to edit the the podcast, please email Mr. Ramsey at aramsey the number 11 at charter.newvisions.org. Other than that, we also have Rachel who would like to share. I hope you have a plethora of things to share with us because I feel like whatever you're doing to keep sane is what we need too. So let us know.
Um, so I haven't been like I've been coding lately. I've been trying to get Jayden to code with me, but he doesn't like me, so it's fine. It's fine. I don't need friends anyways. But yeah, like recently, like I've been getting more into like coding because like before I was focusing on college and getting my applications done and getting scholarships in because I don't want to take out loans, but now I'm like having more time for my hobby, so I have time to like watch YouTube. Like I've been watching YouTube throughout the entirety of like quarantine, but like now I can watch YouTube and not feel bad for it. you know? Yeah. What else? I'm starting a new job. Yeah. Um, yeah, just to get rid of my cabin fever because I gotta get out the house. So that's basically it.
All sound like great things. I mean, we have binge watching shows, remembering the past, nostalgia, computer skills, getting jobs. I mean, that is amazing stuff. I really, really would like to be doing those things instead of just eating. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's all.
I was going to say, you guys are doing stuff that's, going to be useful and also kind of, like you said, maturing and taking advantage of the time. I will say the less useless things that I have been doing, I've been getting into yoga more than I had been because I liked yoga before, but now I'm like, a little more dedicated. And I actually did like the 500-hour course. I haven't become certified. That's like a step I haven't taken yet because I have to teach classes and stuff. So that would take some time, but I did all the coursework. So that was cool. And that was like over the spring and summer. And then I've gotten into meditation. So kind of related to that. So that's something that I take, kind of seriously. A couple times a week I'll do it, guided meditation. So those are things that I think I will continue to carry on through past quarantine. And I'm wondering what are some of the positive or just whatever habits that you want to continue with, whether it's, some new thing you've picked up, a skill, or maybe some other way you're spending your time that, you want to continue even when quarantine or lockdown is over.
Definitely eating. Um, I would definitely say for myself, giving this space to actually do more of like the meditating and kind of sitting with yourself. That's something I've always wanted to be able to do more of because I feel like living in the city or at least in Far Rockaway, there's a lot going on. So getting that kind of like 5 minutes of like zen sounds really, really, really good. So trying to keep that going. Hopefully we can keep it going in the school. How about you guys?
Okay, so I can relate to that because I've been meditating a lot for the past few years. But like, I mean, it. I can't relate to you guys 100% because I sort of live in the middle of nowhere. But um, I feel like that also sort of helps since there's not as much noise, I guess. But I don't know. I just feel like meditation is something that's helped me through a lot of things, and that without it, I'm not too sure if I would have been where I'm at right now, especially due to the fact that my schedule is constantly corrupted by a lot of things. And like, definitely, I feel like it's helped me.
I apologize for your constant corruption with your schedule. Hopefully Rachel has some better better luck with the schedule as well. So
What was the question again?
you wanted to take from what you've been doing during quarantine, outside of quarantine, post quarantine, post COVID, what are you going to be still doing or getting into?
What am I gonna do? Um, huh. Well, definitely focusing on my hobby more, and what else do I want to do? Because I don't really have a schedule. Like, I don't have a set schedule like I, used to, before March of last year. So I don't, I guess I've been, consistent on my work for the most part. Yeah. I mean, there are a few late assignments, but I've been pretty consistent, I guess. Um, what else? Yeah. What is that? I don't have a watch with me, Ramsey. I'm poor.
Or as a mindset, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. What? Well, I guess what I mean to say is, even after like your senior year, or after any of this that's going on, this pandemic that we've been going through, what do you feel like you might be able to carry over into that? Maybe something that's kind of giving you more sense of being at ease, or just something that calms you, something that you enjoy to do, even if you admit it,
Okay.
I don't know.
If I'm being honest, I'm just gonna be uh probably a total wreck, but I feel like I'm gonna fix myself back eventually because once I get introduced to the outside world again, I feel like I'm not gonna be used to that, and it's just gonna feel really weird. And my social anxiety is just gonna increase to the point where I'm just gonna want to stay inside and just want to continue doing what I did in quarantine.
I want to speak to that because I actually have a similar concern. I'm getting really comfortable in my bedroom slash office where I spend a good deal of time most days. And I'm kind of worried that I'm getting really used to that. I'm getting used to seeing the same few faces and not being out and about, not seeing all the people that we see when we leave the house, especially here in New York. And yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about like, what's it going to feel like to be on the subway? What's it going to feel like to be out on a busy street? It hasn't happened to me much. And I'm right there with you. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little in my comfort zone in a way, even though it's difficult. And I agree with that social anxiety could really spike for a lot of people because they haven't had to kind of contend with others, with the other that's out there, right?
Well, unless Miss Todd would like to speak to anything, I'll definitely say that going back out would definitely be a little scary, but I think it would also kind of be a nice thing to kind of look forward to, because again, you've been inside for so long, you kind of want to have these interactions that you had before. Like, I'll attest to that being something that I look forward to every day, being able to see the kids and be able to see staff, and like, just having all these connections and interactions throughout a day. It really does change when you kind of take that away, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know
you don't take it for granted. Am I saying? Yeah, you don't underestimate it anymore. Because yeah, I appreciate it a little bit more. Like, yeah, like I gotta be honest, like I went to like Barnes and Noble like the other day because, I was just passing through Brooklyn and I had to get some like documents for my job. It's not like I intentionally broke quarantine. I mean, I have done that, but you know what? It's not about me. It's about the podcast. But anyways, so yeah, I went to Barnes and Noble to like buy a book. Yeah. Hashtag essential documents. Yeah. They were very essential. And yeah, I really like appreciated the experience, even though it was just me going to a bookstore. It was just like it's something that I miss because it's like it's quiet for the most part, and it's just I don't know. It's just a feeling of being at peace whenever I walk in there. Even if I don't buy a book, or even if they don't allow you to sit on floors anymore. But I used to sit on the floor and like type stuff and, you know, yeah. Miss Cook knows, yeah.
About that Barnes and Noble world. That was part of my 90s. Okay. So just to go back to my 90s teen years. Yeah, they used to have chairs. I mean, they used to have like chairs in some Barnes and Noble. Some of them were really big and had chairs. And now they don't allow that. Oh, I don't know.
Like they had some chairs, but they took it
yeah.
off.
There's certain spaces that are like therapeutic, right? Like a bookstore, and we're probably all missing whatever that is. Sitting in a cafe, going to a bookstore, just certain things that we do that felt good. I can completely relate to not taking things for granted. Even though I get nervous about going out there, I think I'm going to be less inclined to be the person who loves canceling plans. I used to be that friend that would be like, I feel kind of tired. I've been working hard and I don't feel like going out. I don't think I'm going to do that as often as I used to, because I can't take it for granted that I'm going to get to see that friend or, do that thing that I had planned. So I'm going to not cancel plans as much because I don't want to take it for granted anymore.
I'm still canceling plans. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a mask, and I don't want that is definitely going to be an excuse now. What I will say, aside from us having like about 3 minutes left, and I want to make sure we get to the things that we need to throughout our day. It looks like we have a lot of things that will be carrying over post pandemic and hopefully soon enough. But also, I would like to follow up with you guys and see maybe what you guys are going to be doing for your February break. We're all going to be cooped up.
We have a break.
We have a February break. Yeah, midwinter recess. Don't forget, the teachers remember. We remember. Y'all should remember. One thing that you're going to be doing during the break before we go, and Ms. Cook starts off.
I'm going to keep cooking with my new air fryer. I'm into it.
Let me know when you will be cooking.
Yes.
Mr. Abdeen, Rachel, before we go, either of you?
I'm going to finish. Oh, wait, you go.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, I don't even know, to be honest. I guess I'm just going to try to develop new hobbies rather than just sticking to the same hobbies because they're making me more lazier by the minute.
Okay, so Jayden will be transcending into a new being. Okay, all right, that sounds great.
Handsome Squidward. What? So I'm gonna be finishing my game because I'm working on a game, and yeah.
You're working on a game?
It's not. It's no. Don't
podcast. What? Oh, come on. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Sorry.
It's not like an official game. It's just like me like working on a project and stuff like with like JavaScript or whatever. Because I'm working on a breakout game. Like arcade games from the 90s. I'm starting with like 2D games to learn like how to use arrays and loops and stuff. I don't know. Jayden, please work with me. But if you don't, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need friends. I'm telling you.
Oh, he turned off his camera. Oh, Jayden, that's wrong. You shouldn't have. Oh no. Oh, okay. There were
really? We could fight.
Oh, hey.
Once I learn how to fight, we could fight.
This isn't the school for that. Restorative approaches. How did you did make you feel?
I'm gonna restore his face.
And on that note, we have had a great podcast. I appreciate all of y'all. Jayden is back somehow. His face is restored. Ms. Cook, thank you so much for joining us. This was episode 4 of the Are We There Yet podcast. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. And let's cap this thing. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna hang up.